Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm George Graves Jr. Welcome to Wednesday evening with your Peoria Municipal Band. We want to say happy 4th of July, but this is the July 3rd. This is the eve of July 4th. So a lot of patriotic music we got lined up for you. All American, that is Dr. Vroman's theme for tonight. We're glad you could join us. He's going to also feature our trombone section in a number I'm sure you will enjoy. And we got Miss Kristin Lelm as vocalist for this week. Fine concert lined up. Please welcome Kristin Lelm and Dr. David Vroman.
Please stand if you are able for the presentation of the colors by Post 2 and join me in the singing of the national anthem.
Well, good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. Weather turned out to be favorable for us. And we're going to start. How many people have been to the Washington Monument? You been out there? Okay, we're going to bring back some memories for you because we're going to start with the Washington Monument Concert March. It was written by a good friend of ours, John Wasson. And John, I'm sorry to tell you this, Ms. Hankowski, he started out on oboe. Then he moved to clarinet. Then he moved to cornet, and finally ended up, for some reason, on trombone. I have no idea why. An incredible trombonist. He went to the University of Wisconsin at La Crosse, studied there before he transferred to the University of North Texas, and played in their 1 o'clock band down there. And when he graduated, he toured with people like the Stan Kenton Band, the Woody Herman Band. And he was down there about the time the Dallas Brass started their long career, and so he started playing and writing for them. He became a staff arranger for the Dallas Cowboys Stadium Band, and the list just goes on. He wrote jingles for TV and all sorts of different things. He's had a great career, terrific musician. This is John Wasson's Washington Monument Concert March. Early on in this country, a lot of things were moved by waterway, by the river. And we see that living right here in Peoria still to this day. This next tune was written by a gentleman named Pierre LaPlante, who is from Wisconsin again. I don't know why we had two pieces that had Wisconsin ties in a row. I'm not sure. And he uses some folk songs. He entitles this American River Songs. And there's a setting of Down the River, also a little bit of Shenandoah, across the wide Missouri. You get to hear a brass band play and a number of different things. The gentleman that wrote it, Pierre LaPlante, taught up there in Wisconsin for many years, very successful, both a vocal and instrumental teacher and teaching in the schools, also a very fine musician as well. So a folk song setting for band, American River Songs.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this point in the program, we like to salute our armed forces. We're going to play the anthems from not only 5, but 6 of the branches. And when you hear your anthem being played, if you are a current or formerly active member of that branch, please rise as you are able and let us thank you for your service. And if you can't stand up, you did your standing, just get your hands up in the air. Then about halfway through the anthem, I will call for the families to stand or raise their hands, because families served as well. Many years ago, a local person said, "Why don't you have the Merchant Marine in there?" Lots of people lost their lives serving in the Merchant Marines. I said, well, we'll see if we can find it. We did. So we're going to start with the Merchant Marine. So any of you that were in the Merchant Marine, please rise, and families will call for you later. This is Heave Ho. Merchant Marine, anywhere? That's all right. You know what we do anyway? Next, Army. My dad was in the Army. He served in Korea, 51 to 52. Any Army, please rise or raise your hands. That's right, that's just fine. Army, lots of you, even up on the hill in the balcony. Stay up, Army. Long intro on this one. Army families, up you go. Be seated, please. Thank you, Army. Next is the Coast Guard. We have a station right down on the river right here in Peoria. We don't always have somebody from the Coast Guard, but if you currently or formerly served in the Coast Guard, please rise now for Semper Paratus, always prepared. Coast Guard, up you go. Coast Guard families. Semper Paratus is our God. All right, my wife Denise Adams, her father Ernie was a Marine in World War II and Korea. Leathernecks, it's your turn. Halls of Montezuma, up you go. Marines. Oh, come on. That's all right. Marine families. There we go. Thank you, Marines. This one's kind of quick. Air Force. Scramble, up you go, Air Force. Air Force families. Thank you, Air Force. Civil War? Chet, I know that. Just kidding. Now, if you sailed the seven seas, currently or formerly, Navy, time to ship out. Navy, please rise. Navy family. Thank you. Please be seated. And thanks everyone for their service. Happy 4th of July.
Well, you briefly met our vocal soloist this evening, Kristin Lelm. She's a member of the Chicago Symphony Chorus, Chicago A Cappella, and also a former member of the Grant Park Chorus and Lakeside Singers up in Chicago. She's made numerous appearances at Ravinia in Highland Park and also at Carnegie Hall with the Chicago Symphony. She's sung overseas, sung twice in Denmark with Danish military bands, grew up right here in central Illinois before moving up to Chicago. She attended Bradley University. And locally, she's sung with the Peoria Symphony Orchestra in the past. And in fact, this December, you can get your tickets online. She's going to be headlining with her duo partner, Paul Langford, and they'll perform with the Peoria Symphony Orchestra for their Home for the Holidays concerts. And so you can look online and grab those when you can. It's also very neat that she uses her talents in other ways as well. She is very involved in charity event appearances, including the Ronald McDonald House Charities, Ralph Lauren Gala for the TCW Magazine Foundation, Northwestern Hospital fundraiser, and then she did Walk the Runway, which is a fundraiser for pediatric cancer, and a number of others. So we are happy to have her back in town this week. Please welcome Kristin Lelm.
Good evening. The last piece is going to be really hard to follow because I was getting really emotional. So thank you so much for your service. Sorry. Okay, so we're going to step away from the patriotic type music, and we're going to do some jazzy tunes. This first piece is by Irving Berlin. It was written in 1926 for Rogers Hart musical Betsy, and Ella Fitzgerald actually did a kind of a twist with this certain song with her distinguished jazz vocals and her ability to scat. And so I'm going to attempt to try to do that. I'm not going to sound like her, but I hope you guys enjoy Blue Skies.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. I never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going so right. I'm noticing the days hurrying by when you're in love, and my how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on. They don't do, they don't do, they don't do, they don't do, nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song, nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright, never saw things going oh so right. I'm noticing the days hurrying by when you're in love, my they fly. Blue days, all of them gone, nothing but blue skies from now on.
Whew, that's a workout. Next piece is by Gershwin, and it was written in 1927, so just a year after Blue Skies, and it was written for a musical Funny Face. And so I just want to say how wonderful it is that you all came this evening. And I would like to give just a little shout out. I have family from out of town that came from California specifically just for this. I'm kidding. But my daughter, or my sister-in-law and her family are here from California. I also have one of my best girlfriends from middle school from Colorado. Stand up. And then I'm so grateful my mom is here, and there's like 5 other people out here who have been like a mom figure to me. So thank you so much for coming. Y'all are wonderful. So here is It's Wonderful.
It's wonderful, marvelous. You should care for me. Soft and nice, it's paradise. It's what I love to see. You've made should care for, that you should care for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Kristin. She's got a couple more. Probably have other people here too for the concert. We're going to change styles just a little bit and play a programmatic work, probably one you've not heard before, but we're going to take you back in history a little bit, or at least Jay Dawson, who wrote this, he is going to do that. The title of this piece is Gettysburg, the Third Day. So the third day of the Gettysburg Battle. And it's a tone poem, that's how we would refer to it. And there are three continuous parts that happen in this. July 3rd, happens to be July 3rd today, 1863, very hot day, oppressively hot. And in the morning, of course, all those folks woke up that morning after 2 days of fighting, and you could hear different things out in the distance, and lots of rumbling and restless horses and far-off bugle cries and half-conscious thoughts about what had occurred the last couple days and what might be coming, and a little bit of a marching song. About 1 o'clock in the afternoon, cannon fire started, and the stillness was interrupted by Confederate artillery fire. For about 90 minutes, there was a cannonade. They thought that was the loudest sound that had ever been heard to that point in time in this hemisphere. And far from routing the troops, though, it just told the Union troops, yep, they're coming. And at 3 o'clock, in perfect order, wave after wave of rebel infantry emerged from a line of trees. And if you've been down there before, you can imagine that. And they crossed gently rolling hills, about 10,000 men, all marching shoulder to shoulder. Union troops waited and waited until they were within range, and then the battle ensued. And so this captures those three different components and then ends with a very serene countryside that talks about the unspeakable violence that would have taken place on that day and why, indeed, some call Gettysburg hallowed ground. This is Gettysburg, the third day. Next on our program, we're going to feature the trombone section, the instrument that John Wasson finally found after failing on several other instruments. So there are the trombones standing up now. See that? And from your right to left, that's Mr. Carl Anderson. Yeah, it's okay. Fan club. Michael Archer. Max Full Nelson, right there, Max Nelson. And Mr. Gregory Etzel. Henry Fillmore's Lassus trombone. We want to thank everybody at St. Vincent de Paul for coming this evening, but also especially all those that helped with chairs and electricity and opening buildings and all those things. Can you give the whole staff and everybody out here a big round of applause, please? We're super grateful for a place to play because, as you know, July 3rd changed a little bit for us. It's the first time in 87 years we haven't played at Glen Oak Park. So we will go back to our regular schedule on Sunday night. Want to remind you about that. So Sunday at 7 p.m. and then next Wednesday back down on Water Street on Wednesday night. All the concerts start at 7. They're all kind of about the same length, but they all have different music. So we want to invite you back for those. Also, spread the word. Let your neighbors know. I always say your friends and your enemies, your coworkers, everybody, let them know that the season is well underway. We have many more concerts left that they can enjoy. Super special that Kristin came back from Chicago and brought a lot of you with her, evidently. And so we are happy to have her sing. Please welcome back Kristin Lelm.
Thank you. This next piece I'd actually like to dedicate to my mother and father-in-law. Last night we actually put a party together to celebrate their 50th wedding anniversary. I know Mike and Kathy Lelm. Don't be embarrassed. But this next piece, I've actually sung it quite a few times at weddings. So this is At Last. It was written by Mac Gordon and Harry Warren in 1941 for a musical film, Sun Valley Serenade. And Etta James really made something of it. And so, unfortunately, she didn't sing Gordon and Warren's arrangement, but Riley Hampton's arrangement. So here is At Last, and this arrangement was done by Dr. Roman.
My heart was wrapped up in clover. I found a dream that I could speak to, a dream that I could call my own. I found a thrill to press my cheek to, a thrill that I have never known. Oh yeah, you smiled, you smiled. Oh, and then the spell was cast, and here we are in heaven. For you are mine at
Thank you. Dr. Roman, do you feel a song coming on? I do too. Does everyone know my signature song? Yeah? Okay. I hope you enjoy it.
I feel the song coming on, and I'm warning ya, it's a victorious, happy and glorious new strain. I feel the song coming on. It's a melody full of the laughter of children out after the rain. You'll hear a tuneful story ringing through ya, love and glory, hallelujah. And now that my troubles are gone, let those heavenly drums go on drumming, 'cause I feel a song coming on. You'll hear a tuneful story ringing through ya, love and glory, hallelujah. And now that my troubles are gone, let those heavenly drums go on drumming, 'cause I feel a song coming on.
I don't have any trouble following that because I'm giving stuff away. All right. Giving our crowd tonight, and what a wonderful crowd you are. We're going to draw 4 winners. If you'll just come over to the table there, and we'll give you the gift certificates rather than me fumbling with them up here. I'm going to ask one of our Peoria Municipal Band Commission members, who is also the flute player, one of the flute players for the Peoria Municipal Band, Denise Cooksey, will draw 4 names. Denise, if you would be so kind. At no time do her hands leave her arms. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Thank you, Denise. All right, in no particular order, just the way she handed them to me. The winner of the Alexander Street Steakhouse gift certificates from our friend Ron Helms. Come on over there and we'll give those to you. The winner for that is Alan Lovell. Alan Lovell, wherever you are, come on over to the table. All right, he's heading over. Very good. That's the Alexander Street Steakhouse. Next on the list is the gift certificates from Raber Packing down on Farmington Road. And that is Rich Spengler. Right in the front row here. Rich Spengler, thank you very much. Congratulations. He's the Raber's winner. Now the gift certificates, why can't I say that? I was on radio for 23 years. The gift certificates to La Peep. Thank you very much, Teresa. I appreciate that. The gift certificates to La Peep go to Dawn Marshall. Dawn Marshall, right there. Head on over the table. And that leaves the gift certificates to, don't tell me, let me guess, the German Society, the Lindenhof, right over there on off of Pioneer Parkway. And those gift certificates go to, let me just look here. Okay, there's going to be fighting. Kathy Spengler. The fix is not in. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. Once again, remember we give these away at each of our concerts. Please join us for the rest of them now. Here's Dr. David Vroman and your Peoria Municipal Band.
We have done some music by this composer before, a gentleman named David Holsinger, who for many years was a church musician. And he had his own band, and so he wrote things for them. And we're very used to hearing things by him that are very choral-oriented, very beautiful, very well-arranged. And this work is no exception at the beginning and at the end. You'll notice that when it begins, and it starts with words that were "you there when they crucified my Lord." It's very beautiful, it's very wonderful. And it also has a very majestic closing. Were you there when he rose from the dead? And then there is the middle section, which is kind of the brutal nature section that we don't expect from David Holsinger. But he based this upon some spirituals, some early American spirituals, very well done arrangement. He simply just calls this an American spiritual. as the story goes, somebody asked John Philip Sousa about writing the famous march Stars and Stripes Forever. And he said this, in a kind of dreamy way, I used to think over the old days at Washington when I was the leader of the Marine Band, when we played at all those public official functions, and I could see the Stars and Stripes flying from the flagstaff in the grounds of the White House just as plainly as if I were back there again. Then I began to think of all the countries I'd visited, of the foreign people I had met, of the vast differences between America and American people and other countries and other peoples, and that flag of ours became glorified, and to my imagination it seemed to be the biggest, grandest flag in the world, and I could not get back under it quick enough. Following an act of Congress, not until 1987, this march was officially adopted as the National March of the United States of America, featuring our piccolo soloist, Martha Graves, Stars and Stripes Forever. Well, you've been a great audience tonight. We are very appreciative of your support and coming out, and we hope you'll continue through the summer and tell other folks. We always run into people, and I'll say, you know about the band? They're like, Peoria has a band? Well, yes, for a couple years now. So you can help us with that and let folks know, post on your social media and all those things that you do. Several people to thank tonight. Well, I want to thank Mr. Todd Pelon for making us sound good. Mr. Pelon. And then our vocal soloist, Kristin Lelm. Give her a big round of applause. And of course, she'll be back with us on Sunday evening. And then that trombone section back there, give those four a nice big round of applause. There they are, standing up, taking their applause. No, they're not standing up. Yes, they are. They're trombone players, you have to understand, okay? So we also want to thank a number of people here again, one more time at St. Vincent de Paul for everything that they did. Give them a big round of applause. We appreciate the hospitality. And of course, in the band, there's a number of people that make this go. So we want to thank our band manager, Mr. George Graves Jr., Kristen Sheets, she's our librarian. Tonight, Jason Shea is our stand-in assistant conductor. Laurel Filzenetzel usually does that. Liz Driscoll does publicity. Mar does publicity. Frank, he's on vacation, but he's still doing publicity. Jeremy Clark, we let him sit down sometimes. Give them all a round of applause. So we close, as we always do, giving you a few moments during this particular week, especially to reflect on what a great country it is in which we live. This is America the Beautiful.